Hey folks, Mike Dawkins from WorldCast Anglers here with your Jackson Hole weekend fly fishing forecast for the weekend of June 13th and 14th up here on the Upper Henry's Fork around Wood Road 16. Beautiful evening here on the Henry's Fork in Idaho. We've seen a lot of caddis, a couple drakes, some other bugs flying around here and there, a bunch of midges, and the beginning of the mosquitoes, no doubt. So if you're heading up here, bring your bug spray. Be ready for some epic hatches with caddis, golden stones, green drakes, and everything, but be ready for the mosquitoes as well. The Fly Shop, we're open Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Ready for any of your needs. Heading to the Henry's Fork or the South Fork this weekend, we've got what you need, so definitely stop in and say hello. On the 15th, we're going to our full summer hours of Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So we're open for you guys, whatever you need, whatever you want, we've got it. We're here to help you guys, take care of you, keep you out on the water, keep you fishing, and take care of you with whatever you need. So definitely stop in, be ready for our summer hours that are starting on June 15th. Saturday, it looks beautiful, 72 degrees, partly sunny, low around 44. Sunday, it looks a little bit more cloudy, 53 and 38, but next week it's looking pretty nice, pretty June-esque weather, mid-70s, lots of sunshine. We should start seeing the green drakes and whatnot on the Henry's Fork in a little bit more consistency after this cold weather that we had earlier this week. Speaking of the Henry's Fork, we've got 668 CFS being discharged above us from the Box Canyon, 1,650 CFS there on the lower river. We've seen some increases, decreases, and everything along those lines. Flows decreased today, and we should see those till around Monday or Tuesday. The ranch opens on June 15th, so with our help with water managers, the Henry's Fork Foundation, and whatnot, we're seeing some consistent flows come out of there for the ranch opener, which we're super appreciative of. So thanks very much to the Henry's Fork Foundation and everything that they do. As I was saying, up here we're seeing a lot of caddis. We're seeing a drake here and there, a couple golden stones, some midges, and lots of mosquitoes. So be ready with any of those. We're not seeing a ton of dry fly activity yet, but we're sort of waiting to see what happens this evening. We had water flows decrease today. If you're fishing the Box Canyon, I'd be ready with golden stones, dry droppers. The lower river's been really good with golden stones, the beginning of the drakes, and the PMDs. We're also seeing some PMDs up here as well. So be ready with those, golden stones, green drakes, caddis, and PMDs anywhere on the Henry's Fork this coming weekend. The Henry's Fork is going to be your most consistent dry fly fishery around, so also expect it to be a busy place. The South Fork of the Snake, 12,000 CFS being discharged from Palisades Dam, 13,000 CFS there on the lower river around Heise. We've seen the South Fork go up, down, left, right, every which way. We don't really know what's going on. Earlier this week it was 20,000 CFS. Today it's 12,000 CFS. I would expect some more increases, hopefully not back up to 20,000 CFS. That's not abnormal for this time of year, but if they can keep it around 12,000 to 16,000 CFS, we're going to be in a really sweet spot. Mostly a nymphing game, streamer fishing game, rubber legs, bullet quills, San Juan worms, zebra midges, pheasant tails, baetis, stuff along those lines is going to be advantageous over there on the South Fork. The clarity is great. There's not that much snow left over in the big holes for this time of year, so we shouldn't see much on the decreased clarity here in the next couple days. But it's supposed to get hot again, so we should see the last of our snowpack sort of trickle out here in the next 2 weeks. The Snake in Jackson, 2,840 CFS being discharged from Jackson Lake Dam, 10,500 CFS there on the lower river before the salt in the grays comes in. Last week at this time, the Snake going into Palisades Reservoir was 20,000 CFS, so we've seen that being cut in half. The Snake's dropping like a rock. It dropped over 3 feet in the past 3 days. So what that is telling me is that runoff is sort of over the hump. We're going to start to see flows decrease. We're going to start to see clarity increase in the next 2.5 weeks, maybe even the next 10 days, depending on how hot it gets and how things trickle out. But if you look at Glory Bowl over there in Jackson, which is the indicator of runoff, things are getting pretty sparse up there. So I wouldn't expect it to be much longer before we start to see some really good fishing on the Snake there in the next couple of weeks. if you are interested in fishing the snake, Jackson Lake Dam to Pacific Creek is going to be really your only option. I'd throw streamers on a light sink tip, intermediate tip, Clouser minnows, Crelexes, anything along those lines for lake trout, the random brown trout, or anything being caught in those discharge pools there below Jackson Lake Dam. The Teton, 676 CFS up in the valley, 1,800 CFS there on the lower river. Similarly, we saw the Teton drop 2 feet in the past couple of days. Clarity is increasing, flow is decreasing, so it's still a little murky. You know, you may get a shot here in the next 4 to 5 days. I wouldn't expect much. I'd fish streamers, light and nymph rigs, big dry dropper sort of styled things, but we may see clarity decrease after this warm weather that we're having. Yellowstone National Park's been fishing really well. Firehole in Madison, most notably, caddis, PMDs, and betas on those cool, overcast, cloudy days. Swinging soft tackles and streamers can be very advantageous during that time as well. Look, the salt, the green, all of these things are sort of dropping into place as we would expect this time of year. We're starting to see those flows decrease. We're starting to see clarity increase. So if you're looking, in the next 10 to 14 days, we're going to have more fishing than we know what to do with. Jenny Lake, Lee Lake, String Lake, they've all been fishing well now that Grand Teton National Park is allowing boating traffic and boat fishing up there. Look for some of those flying ants, the carpenter ants, and sort of termite-looking things to provide some good sight casting abilities, or fish some of those deep ledges, points, creek mouths, and things like that with leeches, sparse streamers, and clousers. And you can have some fun there on the still water. Henry's Lake's been fishing pretty well too, with intermediate lines and type 3 lines, fishing leeches, damselfly nymphs, and midges, and things along those lines. So we're going to hang out up here, get ready for the hatch with the PMDs, the golden stones, the green drakes, and the caddis. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you have a great weekend and a safe weekend on the water, and we'll see you here next week.